Hello, welcome to the Saturday morning sprints live stream. I can see that we already have an active chat. I'm just going to catch up quickly on what I missed. Inspired by Julie tidying her desk, I ran into the kitchen and attempting to empty the dishwasher before the stream started. I am now out of breath and a wee bit panicked because I was leaving it very fine. But yeah, I am coming to you today live from my sister's house in Sumner. She has taken the kids out so that we could have a quiet writing stream without any interruptions from baby cheetah cubs who need a zookeeper or any other nonsense. So I thought I would return the favor by tidying up the kitchen a bit. Maybe in one of the streams, I will have time to run back and load the dishwasher. But yeah, so in the chat, we have Julie, who is tidying up her desk. Julie is not feeling very well today. There is an awful cold going around. Well, it is not a cold, it is a virus going around the small kids of New Zealand. My nephew and niece have had it to varying degrees. It sounds like it has hit Julie's family as well, and Julie is not feeling very well today. So please send healthy vibes her way. Johanna is here. Hi, it's great to have you here. Megan's here, and I believe we have Meg as well. Yes. We are quite excited to have you too, Meg. Megan told us you might join, so that's very cool. Yeah, as Johanna says, even if you're not feeling well, you can join the stream, have a cuppa, and not have to people so much. So let's see, what are people working on today? Just scrolling up, Johanna is writing a scene where a character has to make a tough decision between what is right for himself and his family, and though it is right, his wife will need convincing. That sounds like a very tricky scene to pull off well. Julie is online shopping. I find that really stressful. I hope that it is not as stressful for you. Megan is wanting to finish a scene which leads to the big breakup. Again, a really challenging scene to write. I hope that's not too intense for you. I've just seen a courier walk past, so I'm just going to run out and grab the parcel. So I will be right back. Give me a moment. Even when the kids aren't here, it is all go in Sumner, I tell you. It's too bad you can't go to Toy World in person, Julie, but you're doing the right thing staying home and caring for yourself. And Meg is back to writing after a long break. Oh, suggestions on the most productive thing to start off with. Have I got a blog post for you, Meg? Give me a moment. Where did I put this? No, that is my Word document. I'm in the process, oh, here we go, of working out a new plot method, and you might enjoy it, Meg, or it might be like fun to play with and kind of get ideas started. Oh yeah, I have had a haircut. So funny story, I was at the Eastgate Mall yesterday And Julie messaged me on her way home, and I told her that I'd had enough work and I was going to take a wander. I wandered into the hairdressers. I am so happy with this. It just feels so light. I washed it this morning. It did not take half an hour. It is not still damp. I'm probably going to strain a muscle because I can't stop like flicking my head around. But yeah, very much enjoying the haircut. Very briefly, I asked the nephew what he thought of it, and he looked at me and just went. And I asked my niece if she liked it, and she just giggled at me. So they're not fans, but I really love it. Okay. Yeah, so as Johanna says, Gillian and Jamie usually start with a 5-minute warm-up. Today, I do not have my tarot deck with me, and Jamie's not here, so we cannot make use of theirs. Jamie has abandoned us all in order to go out for brunch, which who can blame them? Honestly, brunch is my favorite meal. I would eat brunch for every meal if I could. But that does leave us without a warm-up prompt. So instead, let's see. For the 5 minutes, you can either use this as like a chance to just unload everything that's in your mind onto scrap that. Johanna has angel cards. Yes, please. So Johanna is going to draw us an angel card. I have to admit, I'm not super familiar with angel cards, but what better way to get to know them? So once Johanna has drawn a card for us, we're going to have 5 minutes to just sort of brain dump anything that is top of mind, that is inspired by the cards, any thoughts or feelings, worries, concerns. We're just going to try and get all of those out onto the paper. Sometimes the prompt, in this case the angel card, sort of suggests something directly related to whatever we're working on. Sometimes it's a different character, a different project, or related to real life. I quite often find that the cards we draw to get started are telling me to just like stop fluffing around and get down to work. But whatever it is, the idea is to write for 5 minutes without censoring yourself. If you usually type, then it's a good idea to grab a pencil, a pen, a crayon, just some other medium, and use that just to get yourself being creative in a way that is unlike how you usually work. So, yeah, it is just a quick way to sort of warm up our creative muscles and get our writing muscles started. Awesome. So yes, please, whenever you're ready, Johanna, we would love that card. I'm just going to pour myself a cup of tea. The 5-minute warm-up is also a great chance to top up your cup of tea, refill your water, stretch your actual muscles, do all of the things necessary to get yourself into a good writing vibe. I'm going to need to take a deep breath because I always get really nervous and anxious at the start of these streams, and I don't know why, because we always have a lot of fun. But I think I think it's just seeing your face, looking back at you on the screen. Okay, here we go. Johanna has drawn crystal. She represents faith and hope. There is something positive and new on the horizon that you can't see yet. Visualize what you desire, yearn for, and good things will come. This sounds fantastic for Megan's breakup scene and the conversation between the husband and wife that you're working on, Johanna. Although they're going through really tough, all is lost type dramatic moments, there is something positive on the horizon. So hopefully there is some good energy to get you moving. I'm going to leave Johanna's comment up there as we kick off our 5-minute warm-up. Thank you so much, Johanna. Off we go, starting now. Okay, that is our 5 minutes up. How did everyone get on with their warm up? I got a good amount of brain dumping done, mostly thinking about everything that I want to get done today and this coming week. It is the first week of the school holidays here in New Zealand. I don't have kids myself, but I'm quite heavily involved in the lives of my niece and nephew. So it's going to be a busy 2 weeks. Oh, fantastic. Johanna got 296 words of scene outline. Was the crystal card helpful to you, Johanna? Did it give you some direction? How are you getting on, Meg? And let's see. Julie has finished the online shopping and is moving on to the stencil idea. Well, I don't think the warm-up would have been super useful for your stencil, but maybe it can be inspirational in other ways. Oh, fantastic. It really opened up a new direction for the character's mindset. That is absolutely fantastic. Julie says she has no idea what she did in the last 5 minutes. Oh, lovely. Megan played a version of Help Me Make It Through the Night, which her couple are cozying up to. And Meg was prompted to lay down the central themes that she wants to carry through the book. Meg, am I getting your pronouns right? I'm assuming she, but I'm happy to be corrected. So I'm actually feeling really good and excited to jump into our first sprint. I was supposed to be working on some editing this morning, but I'm really tempted now to put that aside and work on my vampire project instead. I'm going to be good. I'm going to put my enthusiasm and energy into the editing so that I can get it finished and work on my vampires with no guilty conscience instead. So what I'm going to do we want a 20-minute sprint or a 25 minutes for our first sprint? Let me know in the chat. I'm a 25 person, but I think the majority of us prefer 20 minutes. Excuse me. I'm getting over a cold, and so I just have like the residual irritated throat. So I'm still scratchy and a bit coughy, but fortunately, do not have all of the yucky coldness. Yucky coldness. I swear I'm a writer. Julie says, if it's 25, then I have 5 minutes to get the dishwasher on. You have sold me, Julie. Okay, our first sprint will be 25 minutes, and which is going to start now. Here we go. Oh, awesome. Okay, so that is our first 25-minute sprint done. I did have time to throw stuff in the dishwasher, not quite enough for a full load, sadly, but I did get a bunch of work done on my copy editing project. So, yeah, I am over halfway, and actually, yeah, I am really close to the end. I did not reach the halfway point this sprint. I just remembered that I did some work while I was waiting for our session to start this morning. So it's not quite as amazing as I first thought, but still pretty good. Oh, that is disappointing. Johanna, now that I've figured out how to show comments on stream, I will do that. Johanna only got 245 words as her teenage children decided to have a disagreement next to me, and I had to stop writing to mediate. That is very unhelpful of the teenage children. I'm sorry, but hopefully your mediation was successful, and that will put an end to further interruptions. Oh, brilliant. Meg started with my blog post and got caught up trying to define her genre. Defining genre is so tricky, but so important. I really hope you can do that successfully, Meg. I really struggle with genre because I love to read all sorts of different things and I like to weave together those elements. Unfortunately, I end up with Gothic, romance, historical, paranormal mysteries with also that have ghosts in them. And that's not really an easily marketable genre. Okay. Megan is enjoying writing the couple dancing and moving to the lyrics and acting them out has made her smile. I love the thought of you dancing around your office, Megan. And it's a beautiful day to be dancing, so good for you. Okay. Julie is still working on the stencil. She has worked out how she's not going to do it. You know, that is really progress. Really progress. That is still progress. And yeah. Johanna understands my situation. Yes. Overlapping multiple genres really does make marketing difficult. But I console myself by saying that, hey, the people who love me and who get me really love me. So that if you can afford it, avoid the situation, Meg, then that's better for you. And if, as you say, you think it will be a mix, as long as it is a clearly defined mix and you can find other comparative authors, then you should be golden. Oh, this is good advice. Megan is saying that, Meg, sometimes our genres become clear only after we start to write. This was my personal experience. I write LGBTQ characters and I like vampires. So my first story was a paranormal romance. And I thought, okay, because I thought, if I'm writing gay characters, then the story has to be about their romance and sexuality. And that was that was the prevalent assumption at the time. So I wound up writing paranormal romance. And so I've got my Thorns and Fangs series, which is very sexy. And then I wrote the Deep Magic series, which is slow burning, mythological fantasy, and really slow paced with very little sex. It's all about the story and the characters and the not necessarily romantic, but kind of the familial and friend relationships that they build. And then I went from that to my Gothic romances, and every single one of those books has got a different feel and different genre. I have some that are full blown romances, but others that are. I've got The Well Dressed Werewolf, which is a straight up murder mystery, and others that kind of have romantic elements but are more mysteries or just ghost stories, I guess. So, yeah, what I have come to realize is that I am only a fan of writing sex when it serves the story. Like, and I am not a romance author, though I do love my romantic elements. So, for me, I still want to write queer characters, but it's not about the romance. It's seeing queer characters represented in every walk of life, basically. I don't know if that makes any sense at all. But Megan has also wants to point out that she's talking about her couple dancing, not her yet. We still have an entire hour of sprints to go, Megan, so there's still lots of time. But yep, Johanna says, I agree, Megan, tell the story and figure out the rest later. One story I wrote where I didn't know what the main character's motivation was, but I knew enough of the story that I decided to just go for it and write it. And in the final chapter, when I was writing the conclusion of her arc, I was like, oh, this is what she was going for. So in the editing process, I could go back and weave in that motivation and just sort of tweak it so that it was there throughout the story. But if I hadn't written that story, I don't know if I would ever have figured Hester out. She was a really hard nut to crack. So that is a lot of chat. I think it is time for another 20-minute sprint. So I'm going to set that up. Is everyone okay to dive into another sprint, or would you like a quick break first? Meg says that's helpful to hear. Meg, this is why these sprints and hanging around other authors and getting the chance to have conversations like this is so good. There are so many times where I've thought, something was a me problem, and it turns out it's a writer problem, and it is so good to know you're not the only one wrestling with this stuff. Nobody has replied, so I need the bathroom, so I'm going to run to the bathroom, and then we'll come back and hop straight into a 20-minute sprint. So be back soon. Okay, back. Before we jump into our next sprint, looking at our background reminded me that for the first time, we are experimenting with an evening sprint today. If you are around at 6 p.m. New Zealand time, Jamie will be joining me for another 2-hour evening sprint. No pressure, but yeah, we thought we've been talking about trying a weekday sprint or sprints at other times to see what works best for us and for other people. So we'll be testing that out tonight, and you are more than welcome to join us. We'll also be back this time tomorrow morning. But yeah, let's get down to what these sprints are all about. And this is another 20 minutes starting now. Excuse me. Okay. How did we get on with that second sprint? Megan has this week off, so she's up for any write-ins, virtual or physical. Well, that's great, Megan. Jamie and I had a quick discussion on Facebook with Johanna this morning, and we have another sprint planned for Wednesday evening at 6:30. I am not sure what will happen with school holidays. I expect that I won't be terribly available, but I will do my best, and if I do have some writing time, I will let you know. So again, my copy editing went really well. Let's just see how far I got. Oh my gosh, I am definitely on the home stretch. While I would rather be working on my vampires, I'm making really good progress on this copy edit. So I'm going to grab the notebook that I'm working on the vampires in, because I think that with the next sprint, I will be able to wrap up the copy edit and get to work on the vampires. Okay, I am talking too much. Awesome. So, Johanna, Julie, and Meg, how did you get on? Just going to have a wee quick look over on my browser, just to make sure that I haven't missed any comments. Sometimes YouTube doesn't play nicely with the thing that I am using with Melon, the program that I'm using to do the live stream. Okay. We've got a comment from Julie, and it has shown up in Melon. Fantastic. So Julie is making slow progress on the stencil. It's still slow progress. It's better than no progress. Hopefully the silence from Johanna doesn't mean that her kids have launched into another argument. Meg is finding the plot embryo so helpful, helping to put my scattered thoughts and ideas in some kind of order, in something that makes sense. It is great. I'm glad that it makes sense to you. There is nothing so exciting as finding a plotting method that works. Megan hasn't got a lot of words, but she is enjoying the challenge of writing a physical action of describing dancing together. So she's been enjoying that, which is fantastic. What's the point of writing if you're not enjoying it? It is now 11:20, so I'm going to suggest that we jump straight into our next sprint, just to make sure that we squeeze in our final two sprints. I didn't think that we would be very chatty today without Jamie, but apparently I can't keep my mouth shut. So 20 minutes, let's go now. Okay, another 20-minute sprint done. Okay. Johanna had to take an important and unexpected phone call. Looks like it is not her day today. She's just going to grab a coffee. Hopefully she can make the next sprint. Well, we just finished, Johanna, and if I don't think we'll be taking a long break before diving into the next sprint. So at least you'll get hopefully one good sprint, and maybe you'll be able to join Jamie and myself this evening. I had another really good sprint of copy editing. I have 2 more pages and then I'm finished, which is very exciting. So my next sprint will be finishing the copy edit, emailing it to the client, and hopefully I will still have time to think about what I want to do for my vampire story. Megan is almost in tears as she got to the breakup. Fantastic. I have only ever cried once while writing one of my stories, and that story went on to be the story that has sold the most copies and gotten the biggest response from people. So I would say that's an excellent sign, Megan. Fantastic. I am keen to get back into our last sprint. If we set the timer for another 20 minutes, we will go a little over 12 o'clock, but I think that's acceptable. So let's jump right in. Another 20 minutes. Before we dive into the sprint, I want to say how pleased and excited I am for everything that we've accomplished this morning. Julie's tidy desk and online shopping, Meg's thoughts about her new project after ages of not writing, Johanna and Megan tackling some difficult scenes, Johanna coping with life's interruptions, and Megan dancing around her office in my head, if nothing else. So let's get to work on our last sprint of the morning. 20 minutes starting now. Oh my gosh, that timer scares me every single time. Okay, it is 12:03. That was our final sprint for this morning. I finished my copy edit and have sent it off to my client, and even got a page of brainstorming my vampire's backstory. So yeah, I think I'm really happy with that, actually. And this is some of the necessary sort of background info that will underlie his motivations and the motivations of the villain of that book too. So it's all good stuff to have. Johanna, hopefully you were able to get one uninterrupted sprint or your coffee. Either of those would be a good option. Julie, Meg, Megan, how are you guys getting on? I've got to stop saying you guys. I'm trying to get myself out of that habit. Oh, brilliant. Julie has sent me a progress pic in Messenger, so I'm going to take a look at that now. But while I do that, thanks again for joining me. Meg, it was lovely having your company today. Hopefully you found this useful, and if not, let us know what would make this more useful to you. Megan, it is always awesome managing to catch you. I'm glad that you could join us today and get some work done. Oh, fantastic. Johanna managed just under 1,000 words over all of the sprints. That is really good considering all of the interruptions you had. And wow, that looks really great, Julie. Yeah, figuring out where to place the cuts and where not to cut will be a challenge, especially for that inner circle bit, but I'm sure that you can work it out. Yeah. Oh, I'm glad. Meg says that this was just what she needed. Thank you for joining us, Meg. I have done these by myself, and they're never as good as when you have other people sprinting with you, working with you, and you've just got that collective energy. So right now, I do not need collective energy. My tummy is telling me it's time for a snack. Oh, yeah. It's time for lunch. So thanks once again. Hopefully I will see some of you this evening when Jamie and I do our evening sprint, or we have another sprint happening same time tomorrow morning. And of course, we will be back next weekend, everything going to plan. So see you then. And until the next time, happy writing. Bye.